mother wants to know as well. And this child was murdered in front of their siblings. It's unacceptable. And we're not the only community like this. The region has seen these deaths. They've seen these murders. Something needs to change. People need to step forward. And these are not the only children being murdered, but these are the youngest. We've had 4 under the age of 10 this year alone by gunfire. We've had other children killed by gunfire that we're still investigating. It hasn't been ruled a homicide yet, that we're still investigating. Why aren't people coming forward to us? I understand street judge, I understand retaliation, I get that, but these are children. That's when you come forward. That's when you're knocking on your neighbor's door saying, hey, who did this? I need to know, because I'm going to tell the police. I'm going to call the police. It's time for that Crime Stoppers numbers to be on the bottom of every media channel every day, not just during the news. You run that number every day. I challenge you, media. Run that, not the storm alert. We all know when a storm's coming. So I ask the community, step it up, please. We want your help. We hear it time and time again with these children. They demand more. They should be going to school today, and they're not. I don't have a description to give you right now. On the other cases, on last night's, we do have a person of interest, a vague description of a black male young. We're still trying to put some things together on that, but it's not enough. We need folks to come forward.
Can you make any additional comment on what happened last night? Did the 18-year-old fire back at all, or do you believe there was one shooter?
We're still trying to piece that together. We had an 18-year-old that was shot. We have to interview him again. We still have to put those pieces together. This is about getting... We know folks are out here that saw some stuff that have not come forward. We know that.
All right, Major, talk about the Crime Stoppers push. It's very clear. We hit the numbers hard, you guys say it. But folks are not listening. Either they're just ignoring it or they don't get it. How do you prove to them that, hey, it's anonymous? We are not tracking you. Like, hit that message.
For those of you that haven't heard, that didn't hear that question, Crime Stoppers is anonymous. They don't take your name. They refuse to take your name. They will not take your name. They will give you a number that you are the only person that knows that number. And you have to reference that number. You will get a reward if that case ends in a successful conclusion of an arrest. All right? It is strictly anonymous. But we need that name. We need to be able to put those pieces together. Okay? And of course, you can always come forward and call homicide directly. Or if you know a neighborhood officer you want to talk to, please do that. Okay.
Is it unusual in the time that you've spent with the police department to not get the help with children's murders, and what do you think has changed?
I'd say it just seems more aggravating of late. More aggravating of late, because these children truly were never the targets. We know they weren't the targets of these crimes. We know they were obviously innocent. No one is targeting this child. Okay, and not to have folks come forward when we know that there are folks out there that have information. So for folks not to come forward is obviously I'm frustrated.
Major, we were hearing that the adults who are with these children, and most recently the 18-year-old last night, their hands aren't clean. Is that part of the theme of why we're seeing so many children shot this summer? Because the adults they're in proximity to are somehow involved in illegal stuff?
Well, there are circumstances around several investigations where we have to factor in some of the behaviors, okay? Now, I'm not going to throw anyone under any bus right now because my focus is solving that child's murder, okay? But yeah, there are behaviors out there that contribute to a lot of these things, okay? And we have to factor that in. The goal is to solve these murders.
Speak more to that about the violence must end, now involving children. It's such a tragedy. This summer, more than 10 kids killed.
Okay, so that is, you're using that number for the region, okay, not just St. Louis City alone. So I want to be clear on that.
Right.
All right, the region is seeing this influx. And, you know, we have guns that are readily available. Anyone can carry a gun, pretty much, unless it doesn't meet a federal standard. Anyone can carry a gun. And when we have them readily available, this is the pending result. This is the result. Okay.
Is it unusual this year to not have the community turnout for children? We're used to hearing that in, you know, cases of older individuals, adults, but for kids.
I am saddened that we haven't had the cooperation and the information that I would have thought would come forward on this type of violence. It saddens me.
You
Been doing
mentioned-
this a long time, and there's a line that used to be, you don't hurt a child. And that line's been crossed too many times, and people, well, I know people have information, and they're not coming forward, and it's shocking. I don't want our agents, our region to be desensitized to these, and that's what's happening. Don't think this is the norm. This is not the norm. And we are too small a city. We are a very small city, really. We're a small neighborhood where each one of these has occurred. It's a small, confined space. People know each other. They know who come and go. They know what's going on, more so than we do.
You mentioned obviously that there is sometimes fear of retaliation and street justice. Do you think that is really what's at work with these for kids? I mean, has like a code shifted here or something? Or like a neighborhood code,
Something
or-
shifted because they're letting it happen. It's happening. So,
Last question. Let me ask about some prevention. Do we have an ordinance on the books, a rule or a law for the city with a curfew involving children? Should these children be out at that time?
last night's, none of these children are to blame. None of these young kids are to blame. Okay? Yes, we do have a curfew, and we can enforce a curfew. It is in place. That's not the root cause here. That is not the root
And
cause.
it's not to blame the children, but the adults that have the children
Yes,
outside. Can
yeah.
they get cited?
We can certainly cite a parent whose child is out past curfew. That's not the root cause here. Okay?
And,
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.